In the perpetually bright town of Sunville, a curious girl named Tara was constantly asking questions. Why is the sky blue? Why do stars twinkle? But her biggest question was about the one companion that followed her absolutely everywhere. A shadow is a constant, predictable presence. It perfectly mirrors our every move, yet we completely take it for granted. Until one sunny morning, Tara stepped outside and noticed a glaring problem. She looked left, she looked right, and looked down. Her shadow had vanished. Suddenly, a tiny voice called out from behind a nearby tree. Her shadow was hiding. It was tired of doing all the heavy lifting, stretching, shrinking, and jumping, while Tara ignored it. Let's take a quick pause. Look around you right now. Can you locate your own shadow? Shadows operate as real-time maps, showing us exactly how light behaves. To understand them, we have to learn the hidden rules governing how they form. That brings us to Rule 1, the block. To have a shadow, you first need a light source, like the sun, actively pouring continuous light downward toward the earth. This diagram shows exactly what happens when those beams travel. When a solid object gets in the way of that light, it physically blocks those beams from traveling any further. Notice how the unblocked light continues down to hit the ground, but the area directly beneath the shape stays dark. That unlit silhouette is a shadow. It is quite literally a space where light cannot reach. Knowing this leads us straight into Rule 2, the copycat. Since a shadow is strictly the result of a physical block in the light, it has to shift the exact second the obstructing object moves. Tara decided to test this out. She jumped, and the shadow jumped. She spun in a circle, and the dark patch on the ground instantly danced right along with her. A shadow does not exist on its own. It acts as a live, instantaneous visual feed of exactly how a physical object is interrupting light paths in real time. But a shadow's size never stays exactly the same. This is Rule 3, the stretch and shrink, and it depends entirely on the specific angle of your light source. In this graphic, we have a light bulb positioned high up, directly over a vertical pillar. The light hits the very top of the object, so the blocked area cast on the floor is extremely compact. Curious tone. Now watch what happens when the light drops to a lower angle. The light hits the entire side of the pillar, extending the path of the obstruction and stretching that dark line far across the floor. This maps directly to our daily lives. At noon, when the sun is directly overhead, your shadow is short. But in the early morning or late evening, the sun sits low on the horizon, stretching your shadow out so you look 10 feet tall. You can verify this immediately. Hold your hand over a desk. Move it up and down. Tilt your desk lamp. Watch the borders of the dark shape grow and shrink as you alter the distance. A shadow's shape is never locked in place. It is a continuous, running calculation dictated purely by the changing angle between the light source and the physical object. This leaves one final, logical question in Tara's game. What happens to the shadow when nighttime arrives? The physics are absolute. A shadow requires active light beams to block. Take away the primary light source, and the creation of a shadow becomes physically impossible. They temporarily fade into the surrounding darkness. But the second the sun cycles back over the horizon to cast its light, the shadows immediately return to work. Armed with these rules, Tara stopped ignoring the dark shape at her feet. She started actively engaging with her environment, watching how her body manipulated the sunlight. She passed this knowledge on to her friends, showing them how to stretch out their silhouettes during sunset and shrink them at midday, essentially turning their playground into an interactive physics lab. The next time you step outside into the sun, look down. Move your arms, jump in the air, and test the angles of the light yourself. Shadows prove that the laws of physics are observable, daily events. They are happening right at your feet, ready for you to play with.